I suggest just killing yourself.
My name is Ezra Miller, and I am criminally excited to be a part of the Justice League.
Have you ever wanted to pretend that something never happened? Have you ever wanted to go back in time and change a mistake that you did, walk down a different road? Maybe you experienced a great loss in your life and just want to say goodbye. Or maybe you even wanted to erase your trauma and just change your own story to something you've wanted it to be your entire life. Now imagine if you could actually do that. Imagine if you could change your life, change your story to have the most perfect ending. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, we are introduced to Barry Allen. He's just a socially awkward kid who was tormented by the passing of his mother. And it was during the Snyder Cut that we see Barry unlock his potential. He went back in time and was able to stop and save his friends. He was able to save the world from an invasion. Now imagine that you just found out after breaking this rule that this can work, that you can go back in time and save the day, that you're the Flash, you're the fastest person ever. You can save anyone except for your mom. Barry learned that there was essentially no limit to what he could do to the people that he could save. He could go around and save the world, stop falling debris from hitting innocent civilians. He could save babies being absolutely obliterated in a hospital just by throwing them in a little bit of a microwave. So, naturally, when you're a young adult who has grown up defining yourself by a loss, who has lived in trauma their entire life, someone who lost both of their parents in one day, with your father being blamed for the murder of your own mother, when you know that you can just go back and save your mom, that you can save your dad, that you could have everything you've ever wanted, that impulse will stick with you for a good while.
So let's imagine that it is in fact possible for you to run faster than the speed of light, and in so doing travel back in time. It still would be wildly irresponsible.
I knew you were going to say this.
Yes, because Barry, if you were to go into the past, any interaction you had with your parents or yourself,
My face.
you step on the wrong blade of grass, you have no idea what the consequences.
What I can't understand. Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
I traveled back in time from here to here, yet somehow everything's all changed back here.
I could save her. I could save both of them. I could save your parents.
Barry, these scars we have make us who we are. We're not meant to go back and fix them. And there's nothing broken with you that needs to be fixed. Take it from an old guy who's made a lot of mistakes. Do you want to live your past? Live your life. Don't let your tragedy define you.
I spent a lifetime trying to right the wrongs of the past. As if putting on a cape and fighting crime. You actually did it.
Barry Allen is incredibly impulsive and insecure, so when he is pushed back by society and his father is denied the justice he knows he deserves, Barry breaks. He goes back in time, despite the specific warning from his friend Bruce to not do it. He's impulsive, he can't control it, he has to do this, he's lost everything, everyone. His dad is in jail, he has to do this. He just wants to see his mom. So Barry went back in time. He wiped his past. He rewrote his story. Barry saved his mom. But rewriting your story will come at a cost. Changing the past, erasing it, acting like nothing happened. Other people will be affected by that. And it was due to Barry's actions that he broke the timeline. Barry created an Earth that was doomed to die. He got in over his head. He managed to shatter it like glass in such a state that the newfound family that he had, all the friends he made along the way, Iris, everyone, just, they were changed. Due to his severe impulsivity, his friend Arthur was never born. Diana is nowhere to be seen. Victor never even gained his powers, and Clark was taken by Zod, someone who traumatized not only Barry but the entire world. Zod was able to take his friend Kal-El. He was able to take Clark Kent and kill him as an infant. The world's hope. For nothing. But even despite this, despite the immense pain, the amount of damage he has done, there is one shadow, one light in the darkness who lives in the shadows.
I'm Batman.
Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne is a cautionary tale that reveals why we shouldn't let our past define us. A lesson for Barry to further show and prove why he made a mistake. He is a clear example as to the need we all have to accept what happened to us and to choose to learn and grow instead of letting our past consume us until we yield to our grief and simply give up. Bruce completed his mission in stopping crime, but he could not escape his trauma. He refused to let it go, despite accomplishing the impossible, doing everything in his power, stopping crime in Gotham. His parents are still gone. His surrogate father, Alfred, is dead. He's alone. Bruce hadn't come to terms with the fact that he could not change the past, and despite securing a better future for Gotham, a utopia, he could not take a moment to appreciate what he accomplished and the people he saved, because he was absorbed by what happened in that alleyway. Torture never ends for the Batman. It is through our Barry Allen that Bruce realized that he can accomplish something, that he can prevent others from being hurt in the way he did. He can do something that matters. There is a chance you can move on, you can define yourself by that. Our Bruce tells Barry he's grown up being defined by his past. He tells him not to, just like Ben Affleck's did. Our Barry is able to teach the Batman a lesson. And so, he honors his parents. He stands up for what they stood for, and instead of staying in hiding, stopping himself from being the Batman anymore, giving up into his grief, he gives the Flash a chance. And thusly, when the world is under attack from a Kryptonian threat that is going to destroy the world, he's able to give his life. He honors what his parents stood for to him. Instead of wishing that they were back, instead of staying in that alley, Bruce decides to walk out of the shadows into the sunlight to save the day, giving his life not once, not twice, but several times. Each moment he passes, accepting his fate and telling Barry that it is okay, that he can save the world. Just not this one. As we see our Barry grow and learn, we see him introduced to all these new faces, these people he's changed, that he's hurt, that have been suffering all this time, and due to the fact that everything around him was falling apart, that he had doomed this world with this action, he realized to accept his fate and let it go.
I know I'm just a random lady in a store, but you want to hack.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't say that.
Despite a lot of the controversies behind The Flash, I really liked it overall, and I'll explain that at the very end. But I just wanted to say that I learned a lot from this film. I really related to it. 2 years ago, I made a YouTube video trying to erase my own past and redefine it. I wanted to say that I learned from everything, and while what I said was true, it was still really obsessed with the past and defined myself by it. I latched on to people from my school who spoke to me casually because I was alone, and I wanted to pretend that everything was okay when it really wasn't. This led to a bad actor coming in and taking advantage of my desperation to be with somebody, to see a friend, to have somebody around. Due to this isolation, I felt I was vulnerable at the time. It was through their constant gaslighting and abuse that led me to being taken by them and eventually me almost passing away. I was sent to a hospital and found that due to my experience, I couldn't remember much of my past properly at all, so I chose to give up and define myself by my failure to leave my environment and to see through the manipulation I had undergone as a minor. It was only through the kindness of someone who liked my art that I was able to get a phone and see the current world for what it is and make new friends. My friends Rue, Muck, Naliea, Bridget, Mike, Jack, Frankie, so many others. They really saw me through my many faults, and they showed me what real love and care was like. And it was due to this that I've been able to accept that I was hurt by somebody with purely bad intentions. It was due to their kindness that I was able to see myself and be okay with the scars left behind. My scars, my pain, and my past led me to the people I love the most. What the Flash reminded me is that the trauma we have experienced, our life, our story, has happened, and there's nothing we can do to change or erase the damage it did to us at that time. If we live in the past and define the world by what we see, by what we went through, by what we had experienced, it will eventually harm more than ourselves, but also those around us. We can find ways to cope with the pain and loss we have endured and learn from it, making our own choices instead of putting our past experiences behind us for nothing, ignoring them. We don't have to be defined by our past, but we can learn and grow from it. We lose so many people as we grow, but we meet so many new friends and family just when we open up, and I know that's hard, and I learned this lesson. This movie came out right as I had learned to accept what happened to me, and it made me feel seen again, I guess. This movie, despite the flaws, means a lot to me. Except for that ending with George Clooney. Wow, with an intro like that, you probably thought that I really disliked this movie, but surprisingly, I really liked it. So with all of that out of the way, I just wanted to say hi. I know it's been a while, like about 2 years. So I'm kind of nervous to make new content, but I decided to make a comeback video real quick. I hope you liked it, and I missed you all. Thank you for being patient with me.